Our environment is continuously changing. There is no denying the fact. Global warming is becoming an undisputed fact about our current livelihoods. Each day, our planet is warming up, and we are definitely largely responsible for it. The largest factor is pollution in terms of air, land, and water. As we emit more greenhouse gases from cars, exhaust chimneys, etc., they form a blanket around the planet. This blanket allows the rays of the sun to enter the atmosphere but does not allow them to leave it. This causes an increase in the overall temperature of the Earth. Global warming is dangerous and can have disastrous effects on humans, wildlife, and plants. So, it is on all of us to safeguard ourselves and gift our future generations a beautiful, safe, and secure environment. Hello and welcome to another interesting video lesson from Notebook. So, in order to make our environment better, we should first learn a bit about it in a fresh new topic from your syllabus called our environment. We use this term environment rampantly in our daily life, and it actually means everything that surrounds us. And it should be our primary objective to not only save our environment, but also make others aware about doing the same. The first thing we should know about is ecosystem. All the living and interacting organisms living in an area together with the non-living components constitute an ecosystem. Typical examples include pond, lake, forest, ocean, etc. But again, ecosystems can be categorized into two major types. A. Natural ecosystem and B. Artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem is the self-established ecosystem in nature, and typical examples include forests, oceans, lakes, deserts, etc. Artificial ecosystems, on the other hand, are those that are made and maintained by humans, such as zoos, aquariums, gardens, etc. Now, when we are talking about ecosystems, we should know that there are two basic components of it: biotic components and abiotic components. Biotic components are the living components of an ecosystem, and all living organisms living there fall under this. For example, the biotic components of a forest ecosystem include the animals, birds, and insects, and the trees. For a pond ecosystem, it can be the fishes, frogs, aquatic plants, etc. The abiotic component of the ecosystem is the non-living part of the ecosystem. So, for the forest ecosystem, the abiotic components will be the soil, water, and air. Similarly, the abiotic components of a pond ecosystem would again be the soil, water, and the air. Today, we shall largely focus on the biotic components of the ecosystem, where we shall be discussing about the living organisms and their types. So, based on how the living organisms derive their food, they can be divided into producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers are those organisms that prepare their own food, and these are the green plants and the blue-green algae. Green plants have chlorophyll, and thereby they can trap sunlight and prepare their own food. Next on our list are the consumers. These are organisms that depend either directly or indirectly on the producers for their food. And typically, consumers include animals, birds, insects, and even humans. But friends, do you know that consumers can be further classified into herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and parasites? Herbivores are those that depend directly on the producers, and these include cows, goats, sheep, etc. Organisms which feed on herbivores are called carnivores, and examples include lion, tiger, leopard, etc. The third category are the omnivores that feed on both plants and animals and typically includes animals like bears, monkeys, and we humans. Next are the parasites that lives on or in another organism and depend on it for their nourishment. Parasites can either live inside the body of another organism, such as tapeworm, or on the body of another organism, such as ticks. Coming back to the types of living organisms, the final one are the decomposers. Decomposers are organisms that feed on dead and decaying organisms and typically includes different varieties of fungi and some bacteria. With this, we shall conclude our today's lesson on ecosystem and its types. In our next lesson, we shall be discussing about the different levels of consumers and how the food chain operates. Till then, keep revising what we learned today as we take your leave. Happy learning and goodbye.